his lyrics for talking points.
For real, man.
Because
He's
of
an
what he's
intelligent
saying,
guy,
man. Like the dude is heavy, bro. He's heavy.
He'll be in here Father's Day.
Oh man, he's heavy, bro.
Oh yeah,
he's heavy. I rocks
Big
with
personality too.
Yes, man. I rocks with Corpany, bro. I really do.
That's my dude. That's like our little brother, man. We grew up with Kobe, man.
Yeah, man.
He's
He's A1. He is A1 with me.
I'm gonna say you
can't go live on the iPad, bro. That's the camera. Or are you? I'm in the comments.
He's A1 with me.
Can you you should be able to.
Yo. What's up, everyone? I'm gonna wave at all these people.
We about ready, y'all.
Boom.
Yeah, we already.
Boom. Come back.
Say he wants you to do his get lit.
Oh, you know what? Because you're not.
Oh yeah, Jacoby, he's coming to get lit.
Because you are on the website. Do you have the Facebook app? Is this the app?
Probably ain't.
Yeah, it's just the Facebook site.
I need to get
Yeah,
the app.
download the app. Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, it's hot.
We hot.
Toasted. It got serious.
That's a firm.
Bruh.
It's a firm 7:30 and we hot.
7:30, y'all.
And we hot.
Let's go.
7:30
Let's
and
go.
we hot, 'cause
It's
already
always
getting
this at this point every week, bro.
Bro,
Like,
what's the topics today? They asking.
Tell him to tune in.
Telling black man to step up what's a quicker way
You
of
gotta
saying
tune in. Then
Yeah, just tune in. Just wait on the jackpot. We about to let it go.
Come on
Stay on
in,
the line.
man.
You gonna love it.
You gotta
Yeah.
come on in.
Stay on. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah, don't go nowhere.
matter of fact, share it.
There you go.
Share that thing.
It's a part of the market.
Show enough.
What's going on, bro? Doing all right?
We good. We just still going.
Juwan,
Like
what's
James
up, boy?
Brown say, whatever it is,
Miss Miller, how are
it's
you?
got to be funky.
Feel like the back of a
1,
53 footer
2.
in here right now, boy.
Oh yeah, bro. It ain't bothering me too bad right now.
Yeah, I'm straight.
I'm straight.
I think it's this T-shirt.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know what it
hitting me.
is,
I
bro.
don't know if it's his headphones.
Start laughing, running out
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah.
Must be that
Taylor, what's happening? It's Day. How are you?
Because we got this door too right here.
I'm hot, bro. Look at my forehead.
He hot. That's what we say. It ain't like overbearing though.
Hey, listen. If you stayed in Brown Hall in Winston-Salem State, this is nothing, dog.
Come on, Pot.
Brown Hall.
Is his phone down?
Put it on save mode.
Yeah, bro. Put it on the charger. Put that thing on the charger. We're going hot. 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh.
We're on.
Yeah, we had some leftover topics from last week too, right?
Oh, we did.
We did.
They had a bunch.
Had a
I
bunch.
think we was
Did
supposed
you
to
write
talk
it?
about the
Did you
abortion,
remember?
right?
Supposed to talk about abortion.
We ain't never talked about the abortion.
Nah, but
Oh, wow.
2 topics.
We ain't here but 2 times. You know, we started going down.
Yeah.
We did though. Kiana just came on pissed off.
Overflow.
This is Kiki.
Talk for them 10 minutes.
Tim,
Shut up.
and knowing everything we talking about, what she was just talking. She wasn't even trying to hear nothing.
Not.
I'm finna start cutting people off. I'm cutting folk off.
Y'all just don't understand. That's all we
Gotta
get.
play the wrap it up music on him, man.
That's it.
Yeah, who eat first?
Gotta call out the Sandman.
Yeah.
Apollo, bro. Take it back.
Well, they say, Kristen, women say we just don't understand them.
Oh, I tuned into all of that. I was watching all of that.
Yes.
What up, Trouble?
That's big facts.
Ryan, what's
Damn,
happening,
Pop.
Captain?
What's hot? First. All right.
Hey, we about 5 minutes out and it's about to go down.
It's going down. Had a few technical difficulties,
Yes, sir.
but we got it
What's
handled.
going on?
Would you have married your wife if the sex wasn't good?
Oh, man.
Negative.
Boy, that's deep now.
Negative. I give you that answer as real as it gets.
I don't know, boy. That's a...
No.
Oh, I mean, it's good, but I'm saying...
No.
Would you have married her if it wasn't good?
What are you on, bro? Man, I'm on the podcast.
I don't know, because I'm the
man,
type of
the
individual I
Academy
feel like we can work on
air
that.
podcast,
You know what I mean?
bro.
So, I don't know, bro. But
I mean, just keeping it a band.
You gotta keep it a band.
No,
right on,
wouldn't
Pop.
have.
Well, I say Chris said immediately no.
Yeah, nah, I mean, I'm not
done deal.
I'm not gonna shoot it. I'm
Yeah,
shooting it
'cause
straight
it's-
from the hip,
yeah,
bro.
'cause that's for life.
I'm
There,
telling
bro.
you, know what I'm saying? Like,
You right.
is it coachable? Is it non-coachable? Like, what are we talking? What level we
I
talking?
don't
Yeah.
want to have to coach that though. He want to be wild. He want to be wooed, right?
Like, what
Well,
would
I
make
mean,
it-
you
what would
gonna-
make-
everyone
what would make a
has to
woman
be
ungood?
instructed,
Like,
though.
what would you make it ungood for you?
It wasn't good.
Like, what would make it ungood for you?
It's like mediocre, bro. The wetness is mediocre. The freak in her is mediocre. The tightness is mediocre. The freak in her more than anything is mediocre.
yeah.
That's a lot of mediocrity.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah. Like, you can't have whack pussy and whack sex.
That's a lot of mediocrity.
Dang, bro.
Damn, you can't. So, all women junkies don't get wet like that. Or you
I think
can't
it's
make it wetter.
yeah, I think it's according
like that.
I think it's according to the man, but
I thought
then
it was just natural that they
I think
can.
it's different levels to it.
yeah, no doubt.
I believe.
I
I believe it's
according to
different
the
levels
man,
to
but
it.
some women ain't freaky. You gotta be
That's
freaky
true.
to woo me.
That's true.
You gotta do something other than just lay there on your back.
And you gotta live with that though forever though.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
You gotta
part. It's the
think,
forever
is
part.
it worth?
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want to go through that for life? Having to go through that every day. I mean, every time.
Right.
I mean, that's real.
That is real. Though.
Hell no.
Is it-
Nah.
This is for life. Like,
Yeah.
forever.
Let me know if
Forever, ever. Forever, ever.
Like I can get you up now, but damn, I'm gonna have to do this forever.
Yeah, let's cut this right now.
I just don't know if that's going to work.
But how do you tell her though?
Tell her
Just
that her
like-
sex ain't good.
What you be like, man? Just that thing just.
I mean, I
It's
think
just too dry, baby.
tell her, bro.
You gotta let it out. Hey, somebody- you gotta let it out there and
How
tell
do you tell them though? You know,
They don't tell us when our dick that's too small, I
like,
guess.
you just, man, you don't be doing the positions I be wanting you to.
Come here, bro. Hey, let's watch this real quick.
But you know, everything you
One
take
over
to
here, one over here.
we got a little tutorial video for you.
Yeah.
That's all. Try putting your leg behind your head.
What's going on, bro? Doing all right?
Try some
About
flexibility.
to get started in here.
we
And
on in a minute.
one
I'm gonna go ahead
minute.
and
One
crank
minute.
this.
Everybody get on here. One
Let it
minute.
play for a little bit.
1 minute.
y'all, I'm
1
down.
minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So y'all know y'all on the do yourself a favor mixtape, right?
Oh,
Hey,
hey, with it.
I need it. We'll work. Hey, we'll work all of that out.
Hey,
I
work
need
it.
it.
We appreciate that.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got a dream what I want to do with that thing, man. It's gonna
Hey.
be something very, very unique and different.
Oh, yeah.
Something you could put on and just have motivation
Hey,
going
what's
the
up,
whole
Mr.
time.
McKee?
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yes, sir.
Just
share the
everyday
live, share the
motivation.
Yeah.
This is retarded.
Yours truly, Big Baby Boom.
Already.
Give it up for him. Give it up for him.
I'm telling you, I want a video with this thing. We're gonna get a yacht. I want yacht bottles popping. Hey, it's going.
Big booty, big booty, light skin.
Hey, speak
honey.
for yourself, but but Tevin gonna have him a big booty. There you go. There you go.
All of the comments belong to him and himself.
That's all for me. Yeah,
They do not represent me or anything of
might get
mine.
me a cigar, some champagne, and
It's only right, bro. You ain't gotta touch him, bro. Be just like
Boat
those
shoes and polos. That's it.
You ain't gotta touch him, bro. Just have a big booty. Just have them there for me. You can look. I'm gonna be touching. I'm gonna have my face in it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you just look, bro. I'm gonna live it up for everybody. Y'all can live vicariously through me.
You gonna be there? We gonna take that.
I'm gonna be that guy, bro. I'm gonna be that guy.
it ain't gonna work though, Tevin.
You don't get it, bro. Hey, until you hear this, you hear that beating on that right there.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna
you
be
got one of them, brother.
It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be uncomfortable all night long.
Yeah, nah, you don't want to
What
walk
you
back
looking
in home
at?
to that. You know?
So you can't even look.
I saw you looking at her.
Right.
Baby, I wasn't even looking.
So that's why I couldn't come to the video shoot. Huh? So that's why I couldn't come, huh? Yeah, it's all about peace, my brother. That is not gonna bring you peace.
Remember your last video shoot at the crib? They already like.
Need I say more?
That was fact, bro. That's fact. Dang.
Already.
This is the life, though, bro. You gotta get used to this life. At some point, this is the life.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I got it up.
Hey, this the life, bro. You gotta let them know. Hey, this is the life we live. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, tell me if you can hear me.
We're gonna have these groupies all around us. You gotta understand that this is you is who I want. You all I want.
That's a slippery slope.
A part of this life is
that
having
sound
groupies.
good.
That's a slippery slope, though.
That sound good. We're trying to convince them.
Yeah.
It gotta be possible because we see examples of it.
Yeah, but that's not
You know what I'm
everybody.
Ain't
though.
it? But
Yeah,
you,
facts.
you just not
that's
video
not
shit.
everybody,
We
yeah.
doing every video shoot. This is big booty bras walking around.
That's not gonna work, bro. That's not gonna work. She is gonna
have to
make
answer
that.
for
She
that.
is.
Yeah, bro, you ain't getting none for about 2 weeks over that one, bro.
Just because you have some.
Oh yeah, they shutting it down. You gonna try to rub on? They rolling over.
How about we just shoot the? If we shoot the video, you just have me in the video, but the so they be on the yacht.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be on the yacht. We all be on the yacht partying, but we shoot the music video and it just be me in the music video.
I'm be like my boy Nino Brown. Grapes.
I'm playing, man. We could like possibly do a scene, bro. We could possibly do a scene where you just like laying in bed, you just chilling. You know what I'm saying? And
She
you,
bring me some grapes.
she bring you some grapes. That's it, and walk out like room service.
Man, I
That might work. She might let me slide with that.
CJ, do your part in the booth, bro. Have them fade you in, so your part come in on the booth, and the boat is everybody else. Man, I wasn't even at that shoot.
I'm just the captain of the boat.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we just getting started. We just getting
With a
started.
cigar,
Show you at the end on the dock, bro. That's
We
it.
ain't missed that yet.
I was driving. What are you talking? I can't see nothing. I gotta look at the water. Hey,
For real.
Hey man, hey. What a handful, Canfo. You're now tuned in to Academy Radio. I am 11. I'm with Honest,
What it do?
Big Baby Boom,
yeah.
and Genius on the beat.
Yo, what's good?
Today is a very special show. It's our very first male guest, and we are very honored to have YP Thomas.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's happening?
Yo, we was catching
happening?
slack, man. We was catching slack because we was having all these women on the show, and they was blaming it on 11 because 11 was asking all the women to come through. You know what I'm saying? Then the women was lookers at that too. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't no ugly
Hey, man,
women.
like I told Corvus, tell him it was a part of the marketing
It
strategy.
gotta be, bro.
Part of the marketing strategy.
You know what I'm saying? We had a female guest. You know what I'm saying? A female co-host for a little bit. So I was trying to bring females in just to take those places for a little bit.
Right.
But not
dig
only
that.
that, this kind of goes into the topic, the first topic for the day. Not only that, we were reaching out to a lot of people, but it was only the women usually who would hit us back first. Hit us back first with a date that they were available for, and with, I guess, anxious and ambitious about coming on the show and doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of feeds into the first topic I was wanting to talk to the guys about, because I had a trial this week. And my judge was a black woman. This was a black woman judge, and before me, there was a light-skinned black guy. He kind of had a similar case that I had, but he was maybe like 7 years younger than me, and he kind of had the aspirations of being where I am now. So he wanted to be a teacher. He wanted to go to law school. Had the same exact charges that I had. So she gives him this spiel about how black men were not stepping up to the plate enough. We need to catch up with black women, how black women are the fastest growing demographic as far as corporate and professional, and how we just can't seem to get with the program. We just can't seem to get with the system. We have all these talents. We have this voice, but we just don't seem to value using our voice in the corporate arena, I guess, like that. Okay. So she gives him that spiel. I come up next, and I'm kind of like the guy he will be in 7 years, because I'm teaching and I have my JD. I done graduated law school and I'm teaching, and I got the same charge. So it's kind of like what happens, I guess, when you don't take her advice. So now she's really mad because I got the same charge as he got. So now she starts giving me the same spiel about how men, we we equip ourselves with a lot of utility, but then we don't utilize it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of utility within ourselves, but we don't utilize it. And black women do it more. Right. And it's evident that they're doing it more. And I always wanted to talk to the guys about that. To me, my response to that, I ain't respond to it because, I mean, I'm at peace with who I am, and I allow people to judge me for their own peace. If it brings them peace, I'll allow you to judge me. But my thing with it was, I feel like black men are less corporate and we're more anti-establishment. And we're more like fuck the government, and we're more like fuck the man. So with that being like kind of embedded in our DNA, or that's being like our survival tactic, we don't trust a lot of the avenues and a lot of the endeavors that would push us into corporate arenas. Right. You know what I'm saying? We are ambitious and we have the zeal to start a business. We have a zeal to start things, but we sell drugs instead of selling lemonade. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's because we're anti-establishment, and we're so anti-establishment that we don't value college. Right. You know, I think women are a little less anti-establishment and more corporate because government is set up to split black families up, but the way they split black families up is by giving the black woman aid and the black woman help. Right. So that they don't need us. So like, it's a lot easier for a black woman to survive without a black man with the government help than it is for a black man to survive without a black woman with the government's help. So the woman grows to trust the government more. So she grows to trust the establishment more. She grows to trust the system more. So she grows to trust college and that instillment, that institution more. Right. She grows to trust that as a way of life more because she's been helped by it. Right. And so she'll value college. And when you value college, you learn of the other businesses you can take that same zeal and that same ambitions towards. Right. You know what I'm saying? Men, more so we got the same zeal, but we don't know enough to know how we can utilize it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Women are corporate enough, or they're in the system, I guess, because she said get with the program. The judge said get with the program, and I think that's just it.
Well, what's the program?
Right. That's my point. I think that's just it. We don't get with the program because we're harder to program because we are more rebellious and we are more militant. Right. That's what I'm thinking. What y'all think?
Preaching, man.
I think it's it's a lot more to it, and we kind of hit on it, you know, before we started, because in her experience and in her position, she probably does see the black African American male more than any other race. Right. You know, in her establishment, in her courtroom. Right. Then just like you said, Tev, like, you know, we're also the most targeted by law enforcement also. So, of course, there's going to be an automatic percentage change with that. But I also would test her theory on, you know, how many do you see that aren't with the program walk in your courtroom compared to the ones that are with the program outside of the courtroom? Or how many do you see that have been successful, you know, work a corporate position, a corporate job as a VP of, you know, a Fortune 500 company, but still get pulled over and harassed by a white officer? Right, that's what I was going to say. Or still get pulled over and harassed by a black officer, just because he's an African American. Right. What about the corporate cat that works a corporate job and is a VP, but went to a HBCU, so he still got his swag and he chilling on his day off. You know, he got his fitted on T-shirt, J's. He get pulled over and he's profiled because he's an African American man. Not knowing this man probably has a master's or a doctorate and is a VP making more money than the man that just pulled him over. Right. So that's fact. It goes to it's a lot deeper than just, you know, get with the program. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And even Honest, I think Honest spoke a little bit about that as far as her judging me. Just she judged me, and she perpetuated the same thing that I guess we guilt trip white people for doing. The same stereotype. Right. She felt the need to give me that. She felt the need to give me that spiel or whatever. And there is a whole nother perspective, and the other perspective is, maybe I did get with the program, or maybe I did finesse the program because I did go and get a JD. Right. So I am educated. Right. You know what I'm saying? I am teaching, so I have a career, but I'm still in here. I'm still profiled. Right. Like, absolutely. That's the part that she ain't getting that I'm on. Absolutely. Like, do you not see that it don't matter if I'm with the program.
Absolutely.
I'm still a nigga. I'm still gonna be profiled.
That's what I'm viewed as. Exactly.
You know what I'm
Jay-Z said it best. Still
and you
nigga.
yourself are the
You know what I'm
example
saying?
because you viewed me as that before you knew I had
Absolutely.
a JD.
Absolutely. Right. When I walked in, you probably the last thing that went through her mind that I'm talking to somebody that has a Jewish doctor.
Right.
That's big.
You know what I'm saying? I guarantee that. But that's what we go through as African American men as being profiled off cuff. You know what I'm saying? Before you even speak to me, before you say anything or know anything about me, you know. So and like I stated before, I think it's about eating the meat and spitting out the bone. You know, and I think you would attest to this too, Tevin. There's probably some stuff she said that you was probably like, okay, yeah, I can eat that one. Right. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, I can. You got that one. But then there's some others where it's like, but you don't really know me, so you can't really make that. You can't make that comment before you know who I am or know what I represent or what I stand for. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that it's that way, but like I said, it goes to, you can't take away people's experiences. And I think for her being a black judge, from where she sits, seeing that it's her race that's usually the ones always coming in, and they're probably uneducated, they probably don't have the background that other people do have, and because she sees that consistently, she probably felt like she needed to say something at that point or that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's based off of the environment she's in.
But does it with her seeing a lot of black males and like going back to what Nene was talking about, do we still take any type of self accountability though?
Oh, absolutely, because I believe it's probably some that walked in before him and after him that was completely oblivious and ignorant and did stuff that they shouldn't have done. Like if we were to hear what they did, we'd be like, bro, that was so stupid. Why did you do that? You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's probably what she's coming from, an accountability standpoint at the same time, but at the same time, she's still
profile.
I think my biggest thing was I understand that we have this like zeal to like feed into people. You know what I'm saying? Like give them something. To you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a mentoring person. I need to give this person something. Right. Hold on to. But to me, she recognized that my case was 2 years old. So for you to give me this, what you giving me, you're assuming that I'm gonna work myself.
And it's a 2-year-old.
You know what I'm saying? Over the past 2 years, like I've done the inside work myself. I'm at peace with this. I'm here because this is my court date. Like I ain't even convicted myself of this no more. This was 2 years ago. So I'm more so like blank, or I'm more so even, I guess, because I'm like everything you're telling me.
I know.
Yeah, it would make. It would be worth it if this was like my first court day. And it happened to me last month. Then I need to be reevaluating who I am. I need to be checking my environment, checking my, like I've dealt with this and I've gone to court for this for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So like now I'm like, as a man, yes, I have checked myself and I'm intelligent enough and I have enough references to check myself. So but
once again, eat the meat, spit out the bone.
Right, yeah, no doubt. I ain't think nothing she was giving me was meat.
But she still made the statement that saying the black man, we're the one who goes through this and the black woman doesn't. I mean, less like, the black woman stays within the program more so than the black.
I think they do stay within the program because.
But why is that though?
The police.
Yeah. And I think Tevin hit it on the head.
They kill us. And women, black women know that.
Yeah, they're supported by the program too. You know what I'm saying? From the standpoint of single parents.
Right.
You know, they're supported by that program, man. I mean, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
And that kind of just piggybacks and jumps into child support.
Right.
They use it as a weapon against the
absolutely
black man.
Absolutely.
They utilize that shit.
And the argument I have for that sometimes, man, is everybody be like, all these men got babies. You know, all these men got babies. Why are you having all these babies? Like, whoa. That's a two-way street, baby. Like for every baby daddy, there's a baby mama. So like she's got to be held responsible and accountable for her decision to lay down with that man that she knew wasn't no good, that she knew had multiple kids and he ain't been a father to their kids. What makes you think he gonna be a father to the kids he having with you? So that's why the women get with the program. some do. I think it's the same. Some men get with the program and get their life together, and whatever her program is, I don't know. But my program is self-peace, self-awareness, understanding who you are, and making decisions that are conducive to the life that you want to live.
Right.
There's men, white, black, Asian, yellow, purple, that make great decisions, and the same ones make terrible decisions. Just like with women, there's some women that have made some phenomenal decisions with men, and some that have made some terrible decisions with men, or decisions in their life, period. And then it's also on another end, when you want to talk about from a relationship standpoint, like there's women that have turned down great men because they weren't the man that they wanted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Choosy women, I say that all the time.
Just like with guys, we do it too. You know, we've turned down some phenomenal women because it wasn't the woman that we really wanted.
Right.
So everybody's decision making is different, man. It really is. So what when you say get with the program, what program you talking about?
Right.
Oh, bro, and him saying that, bro. We can talk about this later, though. But him saying that, bro, you know how we always be arguing about balance, bro.
Right.
I was thinking about this the other day. We can jump back, though. Hold on quick. I was thinking about this the other day. I was saying, if you get balance, you can end up with the woman that you want instead of the woman that you need.
Absolutely.
Like,
Why you
got
say that,
balance,
though? Why you
like
say
if
that?
you
Why you
ain't
say
got
that?
balance, you're gonna try to find a woman
Explain
to
it.
balance you.
Okay.
And then it might not necessarily be the woman that you
okay.
want, but it's the
Okay.
woman that you need
Okay.
as a man to have your balance.
Okay.
But if you got your own balance within, now you got to pick of the litter. You
Right,
can choose who you want because you ain't looking for no balance, so you
Right.
don't feel like you need something. But yeah,
I think that's heavy, because I think that can go vice versa too.
No doubt.
I think if you have balance, you find the woman that you need and not the one that you want.
Right.
Because if you have balance, right? If you have balance,
You don't want that.
you're aware of what you need. I want you, but you don't have the right attitude to check me when I go cheat.
Okay, gotcha.
I might want you, but you might not have the attitude to make me check myself, because I don't want to disappoint you as a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's levels to it, but and I don't disagree with you at all, because
That's
I think
just levels, bro.
I think
see
it's
you put another
interchangeable.
You put another layer on the side.
Yeah, I think it's
Add some
interchangeable.
layers. No doubt.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You when you have balance, you're not looking for a want or a desire. You're looking for need. But then if you have balance, you may not be looking like, yeah, I might need that, but I want her. Like, I can have enough balance to handle what I need, but I want what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that balance and that awareness can make you chase either one. It's just an individual thing.
That's
you
real.
know what I'm saying?
That is real,
Could your
bro.
balance get in the way?
Your balance can absolutely get in the way, because
BJ
it
be going
creates
on
ego.
that. Yeah, man. BJ be like,
true.
the
Yeah.
balance will put you up, like, it'll make
It'll
you.
get you.
It creates ego.
Yeah, ego, because you're almost like numb to
Yeah,
either. You
it
can't
creates
be swayed
ego.
by either, and you're
Right.
like, shit, I'm good. Like,
I'm
what
good. Right.
what I need you for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
It creates ego.
Is that good? That's not a good space to be in, though.
not if you want somebody.
Yeah.
Because to want somebody, what we talk about service a lot. You know,
Absolutely.
you got to
Right.
delete yourself. You got to break away your ego. And in a
Absolutely.
relationship, you got to do that more than in any other, I guess, relationship is your romantic relationship. You have to break self and you have to break the ego. to serve
Absolutely.
your partner. So,
Oh my God,
yeah, nah,
that's
no.
a whole topic on itself right there, Bo.
Hey, we speaking right
Indeed.
That's
Your
right.
man with vision.
Reading the comment, but yeah, that was. I had to because he made me think about that, bro. But we on
It's real though, but like you was, still going back to the subject that we was discussing though. Like when we was talking about in the backyard, like why do it seem like black man seem to rebel more
Yeah,
than the black woman? Like I was telling, my perspective is like do you understand, like as a black man from early childhood to you 50 years old, it just feels like you always wearing a mask. We're never feeling liberated. And that's why you see old man, it's like they just talk shit more. Because they got to this point of liberation. Like, I'm tired of smiling for y'all. I've been smiling my whole life. You know what I'm saying?
like a fuck it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of getting down with the program. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's been forced. Like, we're not able to go into a professional environment and just be ourselves. I can't go in and say, "What's up, bro?" and dap up my principal. You know what I'm saying? Dap up the school teacher. What up? Like, if I tell little kids, "What up, cuz?"
Right.
They ain't gonna understand that. But
Right.
we always got to wear this mask, smile.
Right.
Hey, how you
Right.
doing, sir?
Right.
And
Right.
present ourselves. Like they even question our appearance, our dreads.
Absolutely,
Yeah, bro.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's 10 times harder.
And I'll piggyback on what Big Baby said, because I always say it's hard being a black man. I say it's hard being a black woman too, but it's at least popular to be a black woman. Like the
Right.
black
Yeah.
woman is imitated, and people try to act like black women, so their attitude and the way they are naturally is glorified enough to be, I guess, exploited.
Right.
Nobody wants to be a black man. Nobody want to act like a black man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of black men don't want to be black men because we want to be black. A lot of black men want to be black women.
Well, I ain't gonna say that though. I feel like the new generation of kids, they do want to be black, but they don't want the repercussions
There
that
you
can
go.
come up.
I'm about to say, I'll challenge that. I think society in a whole want to be black men.
Right.
They don't want what comes with being
Right,
black
yeah,
men.
That's what it is.
Because
Yeah,
black
yeah.
culture and sex drives the money market. Let's keep it
Right.
100, right?
Right.
Black culture. You can look at almost any corporate commercial right now, any corporate company owned by white folk, owned by white people. You can look at any commercial. I guarantee the background music is black culture.
Right.
I guarantee the premise of
we
the
the number
commercial.
one
But let me
consumer
ask
of
you
it.
I
this,
guarantee
what would black culture be without the black woman? I think even black culture
Oh, no, yeah.
is like kind of wrapped around the black woman because
Absolutely.
you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Sex, drugs,
I'll agree
money,
with that.
They're supposed to get you what? More women at the end of the day. Like
Right.
that's what you get, more women. You get the nice car, you get a woman.
Right.
You got Versace, you got a woman. You got drugs, you can get the woman. How? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's everything. It still revolves around. You know what I'm saying? Let's all entice. We're enticed by this black woman. We want to exploit this black woman, which
Right.
is why we talk about them the way we talk about them in our music.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
But I do see the point, though. I do see the point to where black men are exploited in the sense like only thing that's valued is our bodies. You know what I'm saying? What we're valuable for. You know what I'm saying? Like our talents, even our minds. But I think when you value like rappers, people want to be like rappers. It's really just the body,
It's the
The
confidence.
persona.
yeah, the persona that they
Yeah.
value.
Persona, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think you just said it, the confidence. I think one of the
confidence.
things that's immeasurable in the African American culture, period, is the swag.
The
That's
swag.
facts. That's big
Like
facts.
the confidence, the swagger we have, the ability to command attention and command a room, the ability to naturally be instinctive. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I think like for instance, the movie Get Out, like that movie, like the to the extent that they were going to capture these abilities of the African American. You know, my man had a crazy eye for pictures, and that dude wanted his eyes for the pictures. You know what I'm saying? I think that is what happens, or what is, you know, with black culture. Like they are so intrigued with our ability to be who we are.
Right.
You know, don't know. I haven't heard one.
not get with the program.
Yeah, I haven't heard. right. I haven't heard one white black person go up to a white person and say, "Can I touch your hair?"
Right.
I've never heard that.
Right.
But
That's
I have
facts.
countless times heard white people walk up to African American women or African American men and say, "Can I touch your hair?" You know what I'm saying? Like for a stint, I had the locks. Like I just cut mine. Right.
Right.
I had people asking, "Are those yours? Can I touch them?" I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that? Because they're intrigued
Right.
with our abilities to do certain things that they
Exactly.
can't do. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true.
And we do it so flawlessly and so naturally.
True.
You know what I'm saying? They're envious of that ability.
I think our confidence is just like Tevin always says, that liberating.
Liberate some, bro. I think
Liberation.
not being with the program is what liberates people. Like I think the judge is to go back to judge, I guess, condemning black men for not being with the program. But if you think about it, like people who aren't with the program are the people who make a difference in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are the most rebellious people. You know what I'm saying? Like we even glorify women who don't go with the program.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Rosa Parks didn't go with the program.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Harriet
right.
Tubman didn't go with the program. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Usually it's the people who don't go with the program who
Set us free.
set us free. And we
That's
don't
real.
really glorify those lives until after they're gone and past, but you know, those are still the lives that are glorified, the ones that don't go with the program or go against the grain, and we get liberated by that. You know what I'm saying? Because like even Cardi, like think about it. From the most simplest point, Cardi B, she goes against the program,
Right.
and she liberates a whole lot of women. She liberates a whole lot of that ratchet shit, and a whole lot of women.
Yep.
But she going against the program. Like you being yourself and being your true essence and just saying like, I guess I'm just gonna fuck the program or fuck the system.
Right.
It's gonna liberate somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
That is how it works, though.
Yes,
That's what we attracted to,
Like
man.
I've been waiting for somebody to say that.
Yeah, what's
You
going
know
on?
what I'm saying? Or waiting for somebody to not care.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't scared to say what everybody else wants to say.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
do what everybody else wants to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like for instance, you know, just crazy how it happened, right? For instance, me being a youth minister, youth pastor, you know, future preacher, pastor of my father's church. There's gonna be some people watching the live like, why he on that show with all them people cussing? You know what I'm saying? And what did I tell y'all? I was like, yo, I'm coming to support and be a part of what y'all doing.
Right.
I'm not
But you
coming
a
here to
vessel,
tell
bro.
y'all can't do this, y'all can't. No, be yourselves, man. I grew
Exactly.
up with y'all.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if being a part of the program from a church standpoint is I can't hang out with cats I used to rock with, or I can't support the business that they're starting because they're going to cuss, like, then I'm not rocking with the program. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my rebuttal to those people would be is YP is a vessel. He's a true vessel, and if you
Right.
trust the truth, then you know the vessel will be the vessel in whatever environment that vessel is
Right.
placed in.
Absolutely.
And that vessel is placed in that environment for a reason.
Right.
If Jesus couldn't go amongst, I quote unquote, the sinners, he couldn't save nobody.
And that's
Right.
always been. That's
And
always been.
and if the vessel of the source and the vessel of the truth cannot go
Exactly,
amongst the
Pop.
sinners and
Couldn't
dwell and eat and fellowship with the sinners, how you expect him to do any type of ministry or missionary work?
So on a deeper level, to go along with what we're saying, Jesus didn't go with the program.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as how many people condemned him, why do you
Yeah.
deal with sinners? Why do you know what I'm saying? All of this. And Jesus' whole thing was like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't come here for y'all. Y'all saved. Y'all know me.
Exactly.
I need the people that don't know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
need the people that feel like my mission for me, man. Like, and a lot of people know my father. Like, the one thing that my father instilled in me is that people are who they are and you meet them where they're at.
That's right.
Like, I don't want you to change for nothing. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? Like, I want to reach you where you are. Now, I can shine some light on you as to how I got to where I'm at from a spiritual standpoint.
Right.
But I'm here to listen to what you believe in, what
That's
you
real.
vibe with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm open to all of that
That's
because I went through my journey in college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, it brought me back to Jesus.
Right.
But it don't have to bring, like, I'm not with that. Whatever brings you peace, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What
Right.
brings you
Right.
peace and what's working for you in your life? Because at the end of the day, we all know that there's one source greater than all the other sources. That's God. You know what I'm saying? So from there, it's like, for me, one of the things I always say is it's like the NFL, right? The Shield, the whole NFL organization is God, and then you got faces of the franchise. You know what I'm saying? Whatever religion you believe, like all of them still went to a higher source and a higher power for their guidance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I picked Jesus. That's who I picked. That's who I
Talking,
rock
bro.
with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's who I rock with.
Right.
But I've heard the ancient Africans gods. I've heard what Buddhists believe in. I've heard what, you know, the ancient Kemet and all of that stuff believe in. And if you look at it, man, it's a lot of similarities. Not only is it a lot of similarities, but when you talk about a pure principle-based standpoint,
Yeah.
the principles align with each other. We
They
can
all the
argue
same,
fact.
bro.
We can argue fiction all day.
That's all
But when
about
you
it.
talk about applying the principle to your life and does it work,
That's
they
facts.
all have principles that work in your life.
Because
And
it's
I
the
tell
same.
you,
Because you know why it lines like that?
Step, bro.
Because it's the same God
It's
in
the
every
same
religion.
guy, bro.
Absolutely.
I was telling
Exact
BJ, bro. I was telling
Absolutely.
you gotta,
Same
you have
God.
to fearlessly. You have to fearlessly be in a search, and it has to be your own search,
A
for you
personal
to find,
search.
a personal search for you to find that realization.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
that'll
Absolutely.
it'll rock you. You got to trade with these demons. You got to go and read these
Yes,
other
sir.
things that's kind of scary for you.
Yes,
but
sir.
at the essence of it, you do find that wow, this resonates with me too. This vibrates. It got to be coming from the same source.
Absolutely.
Right.
I am a vessel of the source, so it would not vibrate with me. And
Absolutely.
it would not speak to me if it wasn't. Like
Yeah.
if I'm reading it naked, it gotta be like that. And then I also talk about how we're so much in the box, and because of time, we think that, I guess, our school of thought or our religion like that was the only place God was working.
Right.
Like, bro, like, yes, God was working in Jerusalem and he had people here, but it's people way across the world.
So he wasn't talking to them
He wasn't
either.
talking to them. He was giving them
That
the
is
exact
something.
message across the whole world.
That
Now, them
is
people
something.
going through something different, so God
That's
got to
real.
tailor a message for them people to go through what they're going through,
Absolutely.
which is why religion is geographical. People in the same area worship the same type of God and believe the same thing because God has to give the people of like mind in the same close proximity order for them to order themselves as a civilization.
Absolutely.
We sat here
Ooh.
telling them they wrong and we ain't living where they living.
Like,
Like, we
it's-
have no idea, bro.
Exactly. I
Like,
taught.
there's a reason that Muslims got to be Muslim. They live in a third world country. Do you not understand? They have to believe in something like that.
Right.
We believing in Jesus is a privilege, like a
Absolutely.
real privilege.
Absolutely. To have a choice.
Right.
To have a choice.
is a
Like
first
some
world
of them that
privilege.
don't have a choice.
Exactly.
Like I told somebody one time, I said, man, think about this, right? Let's say, you have somebody that believes in Buddha. Okay, and they're healthy, they're wealthy, and they're rich. I'm not just talking about having money, but they're healthy in spirit. They're peaceful. The energy that you get off of them is just it's intoxicating.
Bro, we done missed like 4 calls.
For real.
Oh, damn, it ain't ringing.
Oh man.
It's calling you. Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna pause there. 'Cause we gotta get the calls, man. Yeah, we gotta get the calls.
bro.
Hold on, we gotta get
He'll call like this, say, bro, I'm calling. I'm thinking, is he about to call? I guess he's telling me that I am calling. Like,
That's what happened when you get into that deep talk, though, boy. You ain't looking at that
my fault,
phone.
likes.
Tell him call back.
Yeah, call back. We
Yeah,
sorry,
the
man.
ring, the
We
ring
into
ain't on, man.
We got into a good convo, man. Y'all gotta bear with us.
Dang. I'm gonna let you. Academy on there. Who am I speaking with?
This is Likes.
What's going
Hey,
on?
that boy Carl. What's up,
Hey, man,
boy?
thank you for tuning in.
Bro,
We
you
apologize for that.
Talk it up good. Got some support. I was like, yo, let me get in.
We appreciate you tuning in.
I
man.
was like, let me get in. They talking about my man. It's good.
Yes, sir.
No doubt, bro. We appreciate it, man. We sorry for that delay, man. I ain't noticed that the phone was ringing. We missed like 12 calls.
Yeah, man, it's all good. I just wanted to make a comment too, man, on some things that you guys were talking about. When you guys were talking about like having vision. Like my thing is like we got to make sure we reinforce that. Because of our rebellious nature, like and not going with the system, we still got to put positivity in place of that. Like, we got to make sure we have vision for our lives.
Absolutely.
So, like, because sometimes you can not go with the system and still lead people astray.
You're right.
Right.
You know, like, you can lead people astray because you're charismatic. Like, we're charismatic people. You know, like, sometimes when, you're dealing with people, you come off your swag. The thing about you, they be like, oh, you got this great energy. You got this great energy or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't know what it really took for you to get there.
Right.
So, like,
I get what you're saying.
and not going with the system, that doesn't just mean just to be rebellious and to replace it just with ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when you just have yourself and you don't have that positivity that's being reinforced, then you're just causing people to go around in circles and they don't have anything else to, glean from.
That's facts.
Right.
Because you, as a man, you're going to die. But can your ideas and your ideals live on? Through you? What are you putting back in the earth for people to live from not going with the system?
That's big facts.
That's all I wanted to say.
Hey, bro, we appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah.
We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. I think he kicking facts, and I tell CJ this all the time because I kind of get that people find that you're charismatic, and they're just like, "Ooh, what do you do? Like, what are you on?" And they're anxious about like, what are you reading? And I tell CJ that I'm cautious. I'll try to be cautious about giving the books that I read to people because I know that's language and I know that's a spirit, and they might not be able to handle it. So like even when like people are coming to the crib, people are coming to the crib because like I post.
You probably tell me that every week, man.
Yeah, bro. Because I post certain quotes on my Instagram story, and because like people will read like a page and they be like, "Oh, I like that. I need that book." And I'm like, I would more so rather you come to my house and look at my library and you talk to me about what's happening because you don't really know this book. You know this page. I give you this book. You start reading this. You internalizing this, bro. Like, you might be shaky. Like, I'm strong enough to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, bro, you spitting so much facts here, bro. Like, because when I went down, my I call it the foxhole. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started in college.
You gotta go there.
And it was this joint that came out called the Zeitgeist. I don't know if y'all heard about that, right? So I watched the Zeitgeist, and y'all know my peoples, y'all know where I'm from, y'all know how I grew up, church, right? So when I heard that, I'm like,
we did too.
Wait, I'm tripping, right. I'm like, wait a minute, bro, hold up, what? You know, and the things that they dropped in there, and that started my whole research dive into everything. You know what I'm saying? The different religions, the astrology, understanding astrology, the ancient Africans, understanding, the Anunnaki, all of those different elements.
Right.
And it's like, it was certain people, when I was on that journey, that would ask me, like, what did you see, man? Or, what are you watching? I'm like, I don't know if I can show you that, bro. Like, I don't know if you're ready. Like, this is gonna turn your world upside down. So whether you believe it or not, it's gonna make you. It's gonna start making you think about some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
It's a paradox in itself, bro. You just.
It's the question
not
that you
to be understood. Really, if you trying to, what you're seeking is to understand that you're not gonna understand what you're seeking.
And I put it to everybody this way: you're finding your truth,
right?
True.
Your individual truth.
Speak on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not what everybody else believes, but what is your individual truth?
Right.
And that goes into a whole, not deeper level. I say a little bit lighter, but deeper on the context of your life. Like, when you're finding your truth spiritually, you'll find your truth physically. In the standpoint of the people that told you wasn't gonna be this, you wasn't gonna be that, you wasn't gonna do this, you can't do that. When you know who you are and you have a truth about yourself, you understand that's not my truth.
That's facts.
That's your truth.
And you be at peace.
And you have an entitlement to believe that. Yeah. But that's not my truth. That's not what I believe. So it doesn't do anything for me as far as my progression of my life goes. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody has to have that spiritual, true journey of finding out who God is to you.
Right.
Like, not what somebody told you, not what somebody taught you, not what somebody's perspective is of it.
That's scary,
what is
though.
it to you?
That's facts, though.
That's a scary thing, because I think to go on that type of spiritual journey, it's going to require you to tear yourself completely
Absolutely.
down.
Yeah, bro.
To build yourself back up.
I'm talking about strip yourself butt naked, bro.
Like your whole everything you ever taught, you gotta really let go of.
You gotta let go of it.
Everything.
Exactly.
But even he says no. And my favorite author is Khalil Gibran, and Khalil Gibran says that in the book The Prophet. The book The Prophet is my favorite book to give everybody. I buy like 6 copies of this almost like every 6 months. But he says, "Say not that I have found the truth. Rather say I have found my truth, and say not that I have found the soul, but I have met the soul walking among the path of life." You know what I'm saying? Because you have to denounce yourself. You have to meet the soul. You have to find your true peace, find your true soul. And it ain't a lot of times we ain't at peace with our own truth, and because we're not at peace with our truth, we need help. So because we need help, we try to make other people believe what we believe.
I'm gonna tell you
Right.
and I think the hard part about that is like thinking about if a person goes on a spiritual journey like that and trying to find their truth. I think the hardest part for people is like you lose all your support that was around you, because oftentimes they're gonna think you losing your mind or you going crazy.
I can attest.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then once you lose your support, then it start making you think you going crazy. Like, because you need your support, man. Everybody needs some type of support. But when I don't have the support for the people that I love most,
See, the thing is, bro, not that we should more so focus on supporting each other in our journey. Like, one thing I really appreciate about me and Honest relationship is that we support each other in the journey and not really in the answers. You know what I'm saying? expecting each other to think and
Hey, that's
feel the
heavy.
same way.
That's
We
heavy.
support the fact that we're striving and
That's
we're
heavy.
seeking. It's like, oh, bro, that's what you got on your journey.
Yeah, we're not afraid to look at.
Yeah, that's like enlightening to me, bro. Let me tell you what I got on my journey. We two different men. We gotta be in two different journeys. We getting two different answers.
Absolutely.
We gotta recognize that, and I guess relish in the fact that I got somebody else beside me who's walking on a completely different journey, getting completely different truths.
Yeah.
And he's in my face. This is a whole nother book that I can talk to and get some truths from.
And I think that another big part of it is respecting
Facts.
everybody's journey.
Right.
Like it's so many people that want to argue right and wrong.
Right.
Like that's so useless and it's pointless at the end of the day because it
Point that
doesn't
out.
matter. It's not about right or wrong, man. It's about how can I help you. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? How can I help you
Be a service,
understand
bro.
something that you don't understand? Like, and I don't even have to agree with whatever you're searching for or whatever you're on at the time for me to feel like I have to, you know what I'm saying, say whatever I want to say or say whatever, you know, I feel I need to say to you, or you got to believe this, you need to believe that. No, like, let me tell you what's helping me.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me just tell you what's helping me. Let me tell you what's giving me some motivation, what's giving me some power, some you know, some thought, you know, provoking inspiration for myself.
But let me ask you a question, YP, like, because I know you're a spiritual guy
Absolutely.
and a motivational speaker, future preacher.
Yeah.
Future preacher. But like, do you feel like it, like dealing with the generations, right? Because we know we live in a new times.
Right.
A lot of our newer generation have a lot of questions as far as religion and understanding this thing, and oftentimes when they go to gain an understanding, oftentimes the older generation shoots them down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or, boy, that's foolish. That's just stupid. Or tell you that your thought processes.
Yeah.
And maybe God may have gave it to you, but just because they have this wall up, and because and oftentimes when you talk to the older generation, they oftentimes tell you, we grew up in a time where it was given to us, and that's just what we believe. Right.
Right.
So
that's no question.
So how do we bridge that gap, though? I mean, because I feel like we need each other, man, and with this spiritual walk and the spiritual journey, like, I feel like the new generation can teach the old as well.
Yeah.
And I just feel like right now we just in a conflictual space and time dealing with spirituality, and we have to find a way to bridge that gap.
I do like Corvus wanted a piece of that.
I don't think we can bridge that gap. Because some of them been stuck in that way so long.
Yeah.
They feel like they don't have the time to go back and undo everything and try to learn it all back again.
And
They stuck and they just gonna accept what they done got so far and just go to heaven with that. Try
But
to make it to heaven with that.
do you think it's just a place of fear, really?
I think it is only part, yeah.
I think it's twofold. I think it's a place of fear, but then I also think it's a place of comfort and I wouldn't even call it complacency because let's not get it twisted, right?
Right.
There's some old time days and old time ways that brought people through some stuff that we can't even fathom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It worked. Like when I will never denounce it and say it didn't work. Now what I will say is it's not working now for some of the generation today.
Right.
You know, I went to I didn't go to a conference, but ended up meeting up with my cousin in Atlanta, and she had went to a conference, and one of the topics was how can we bring kids, youth, teenagers, you know, young adults to Christ in today's generation without quoting a scripture in the Bible. Like, think about it. How can I take this 17-year-old teenager that's got all of these questions and still lead him to Christ but never quote a scripture? That's the task that we have today. From people that follow Christ, from the people in the church. Like, you can't go quote a whole bunch of scriptures to a kid now, bruh. With the way this generation works, they not trying to hear that. Like, this generation has been around church enough to see the church bull, right? But also see some spiritual works and see some stuff that it works. Like, they want a relationship with God. They don't want church.
That's right. I think that's where religion falls short,
You know what I'm saying?
bro. And because I think a lot of religions I speak about a living text. A living text is supposed to relate to the times and the people. You know what I'm saying? But most religions say this one ancient text should guide all ages. You know what I'm saying? He speaks on how can we lead people to Christ without quoting a verse from the Bible. I mean, because he's supposed to be those verses supposed to still be relevant today, but there's a disconnect. So there has to be some relevant. We have to be able to take what we base our walk of life on, right, and be able to adjust it to the times. If you
do you think the
disconnect.
disconnect is really the Bible, or is it just the way that people are living though?
I don't think it's the Bible.
I think it's I just think we dealing with a certain, like, even like I'm telling, like I often say, bro, if I didn't grow up the way that I did grow up and see church from a more righteous standpoint to where it was, you know what I'm saying, and I had to grow up and I'm introduced to church at where it's at now, I wouldn't be a church goer. The foolishness that you see on social media, the foolishness that you seeing that's going on in church, they preaching prosperity over spirituality now. It's like, I mean, it's tough. It's not the word of God. It's tough. It's the people just living.
It's the politics, the shenanigans,
the
showmanship.
Yes.
It's a lot of stuff, and being a kid that grew up in the church his whole life and being a PK, I agree with you. Yeah. Like, it was a point in time in college where I was like, man, I'm not going to church. For what?
What?
I'm finally out the house, man. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm saying you dealing with a group of people now. If I can go shout all day, they feel like they don't have. That's not what it's about.
But don't know anything that the preacher preached, or don't, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, man, because it's some ministries that's doing some absolutely phenomenal work,
right,
and some phenomenal things in the kingdom of God. Like,
right.
I don't think anybody in this room is denouncing what church is meant for and what it is. And I think the problem is when you have brothers like yourselves and brothers like me that question some of the things, people think you're denouncing the church and saying it's worthless, it's useless. Ain't nobody doing that. But if you can't sit back and see the disconnect between church and this generation right now,
you ain't looking.
Like, you're not looking, bro. Like,
they leaving daily, bro.
They want experience.
Yeah.
They want experience.
It's not sincere no more. It's a show.
Yeah, and then when people try to bite into it, it's like a TV dinner. It's hot on the outside, but ain't nothing in the inside. And then not only that, but half the people that's hot on the outside quoting these scriptures probably ain't living right.
Exactly.
And you're grown enough to realize that everybody got their stuff. Everybody deals with their vices and their issues. But who's being real enough to sit down and say, hey, little homie, listen, I used to do the same thing, bro. Right. I used to smoke, I used to drink, I used to hit the strip clubs, I used to do all of that. Right. But this is what helped change my life, man. I got into church and I started finding the sense of self. I started finding out what it was. I used to gang bang. Everybody, it seems like a lot of people want to put on the facade of being saved instead of talking about what they really were. Right. And who they really were, bro.
I think that question, bro, because I spoke on this. I had to speak at a youth. Well, the last youth service I spoke at, it was kind of like my topic because I was seeing that that separation between the youth and the church, and you spoke about the message. I think if you change the message to be more empowering and to characterize this as something that empowers you and makes you capable of centering yourself and having this peace. Right now, I feel like Christianity is framed in a sense to where this is something that's going to help you get through life that's already set up to be bad for you. You know what I'm saying? So serve God. And because you serve God, you got to understand you're going to deal with even worse shit because you serve God. But you still equipped to deal with the shit you need to deal with before you die and then go to heaven. Then you can finally live your life. That's what's the disconnect with youth. Youth won't like, wait a minute, if
instant
I'm serving, like, where is my return on my investment in this lifetime? I won't return on my investment in this lifetime. So like you said, if you framed it that way, this is what I did to find inner peace, and with that came all these other blessings.
Absolutely, because we got to put in work.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You got to put in work for yourself. You got to put in work after you receive the message, after you receive that word.
Right.
You got to work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, YP Motivation stands for Your Power Motivations. Like, it's about recognizing recognizing the power you have within you to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish, and help people recognize the same power they have within themselves. Because at the end of the day, bro, it all comes back to you. I don't care how many times or how powerful or how anointed a preacher is that preaches you into a Holy Ghost fit. If you come home and don't put nothing that he said to work, and put nothing that he said into motion, or believe in anything that he said, like, and you don't put work into it yourself, it's going to bring you nothing.
Right.
Fact, bro.
It's going to bring you nothing. Like, there's another step that has to be done after you go get that emotional charge, that emotional, feeling of, you know what, I can make it through the week.
Right.
I can make it through through this trial and test that I'm going through. But if you don't believe it after you walk out of the church doors, that ain't on the church, bro. That's on you.
That's one of my mottos, bro. The truth in all religion is the belief in it. Ain't nothing gonna work unless you believe.
Ain't nothing, bro. I don't care if you believe in Buddha, ancient Kemet, anything. If you don't put any work into it, bro, it doesn't work. So for me, like, and then you gotta understand, like, these kids now, internet, social media, what they're hearing is happening inside of churches because of the access to information they have now. The one apple spoils the bunch type thing. So you have to, you just got to go about it differently. Like, I'm not like, I know the Bible. I've been in church my whole life. I preach. I'm a pastor. Like, so I know the Bible. When I'm talking to kids, man, I'm not quoting no scriptures at them down their throat. Let's talk about life.
They ain't even at that level yet.
Let's talk. If I was to go to them and say, in James it says, count it all joy when faced in trials, as it builds truth. They don't know that, bro. They don't know how do I apply that to my life. No, but if I tell them, man, listen, I know your mama is on dope. I know you don't know your daddy. I know you struggling in school. But if you believe in yourself, and if you know that I believe in you, that's why I'm here to talk to you. I guarantee you we can get you to college. I know you or you to be the first one to go to school. But if you believe in yourself, and if you recognize the power that you have inside of you to accomplish, you don't need nobody else. If you stop believing in the lies that people told you, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not. If I talk to them like that, they're gonna be like, dang, man, YP, bro. Hey, he just empowered me. How did you get that way? This is how I got that way, bro.
And then you live by your word.
Exactly. This is how I got that way. Listen to me. Do me a favor, little homie. Come holler at me on Sunday, and I'll show you how I got this power. I'll show you how I got this mindset. I'll show now I can open him up to say, hey, bro, listen, let's read Proverbs.
Right.
See right here where it talks about being a wise man. You see where it talks about obeying your mother and your father. You see where it talks about, and then I can start pouring into his life from a Christianity and from a biblical standpoint. But if I come quoting ramming scriptures down his throat, as soon as I walk up to him, bro, he don't want to hear that right now. Not the average, not the average teenager these days. Not the average, and that's just teenagers. We ain't even gonna talk about young adults.
Oh yeah.
That's 21, 22, 23, 24 years old. Bro, you get to talking scriptures, they may smack you across your head with some logic and some history based off of history that may make you question everything.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta talk to people where they're at, bro. You gotta respect that. Like, I love people's perspective.
Yeah, that's
That's not Christian or bro. That don't affect me.
That's right.
I know who I am. And it goes back to having balance, right? I know who I am. I know what I believe. It ain't too much you gonna say that's gonna make me stray away from what I believe. Exactly. But I respect it, and I guarantee I can gain some perspective off of what you tell me from what you believe. Let's have a conversation. Let's bounce ideas off of each other. Let's talk about what you believe. Let's talk about how it's helped you, how it's brought you balance, how it's brought you peace. Why we always gotta argue about right or wrong?
That's right.
That's facts, bro.
I'm talking about, hey, bro, I've been preaching this for about the last
I've been preaching that, bro.
month or so, and just to that point, like, he has freed me. Like, I'm less critical of people. Like, I don't learn, like, that's what's not bringing us peace. Stop critiquing everything. She don't need to be in that. Why you studying that? Why you reading that? You don't, like, everything that you do. You got a critic. Absolutely. But like, he's told me, like, even so, they'll come in debates trying to make you feel wrong for what you're doing, and his counteraction is kind of like, I'm not trying to say I'm wrong or right. We just discussing this.
And if I do feel like you're wrong, like, there's a way to say it.
Right.
There's not no you wrong. I had somebody, a close friend of mine that was reading into.
Well, don't tell them they wrong. Just tell them you don't agree with them.
This is what I did. This is what I did. He was reading about some stuff with like demonology and stuff like that. And some of the perspectives he had, I didn't agree with. And I just told him, I said, hey man, be careful with that. Right. I said, because it can open up your spirits to some of that stuff, and like if you're not solid enough, man, that could be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with it, but hey, I if that's what you're on right now, but just be careful with that. And all I'm doing is just be careful with it, bro. Keep studying it, because you may be able to come back and give me something. But
that was powerful.
Understanding like what that can open up, like just be careful with that.
You understand that?
But by telling him to be careful, you just planted a seed. That be careful gonna stick.
So now he might read something and be like, yo, nah, I ain't messing with that. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful, bro. Like, we have to respect people's opinions and people's beliefs, bro. Exactly. It is 2019, dog.
Right. Facts, bro.
Like, you have to respect what people believe and listen to them. Talk to them. Right. They may give you something that shifts your whole perspective.
Exactly.
That shifts your whole perspective, bro.
That's what I'm learning, bro.
You
just
don't
be
know
open-minded, man. Be open-minded.
I gotta disagree, Kenyatta. Kenyatta commented and said, in this society we live in now, it's people our age who have stopped the tradition. Our parents made us go to church. Trust and believe I'm doing that with my daughter and son. Yes, this generation has changed, but I will not belittle my beliefs and what I was taught. I will instill everything I have learned into about
the whole
God.
Point, because we ain't saying nothing about belittling your beliefs.
Anybody said
we have to stop giving these kids choices.
We start having
we didn't have choices.
Why he said when we start having this conversation, that's what people say. Yeah. People say I'm not finna belittle my faith, but and he said he gave a disclaimer before he started talking. Like, he gave a whole disclaimer, like
knew it was coming.
We ain't belittling the faith.
Nobody said that was nothing. Like, as a matter of fact, to whoever just commented, I encourage you to continue doing exactly what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to change it. You're actually on the right path of doing. You're instilling it with your kids.
Hey, it seems like that we've been more open-minded.
It
makes them feel like we straying away from Christianity. Like, no, we're not.
No one said that.
Nobody said we
fair though, bro.
We still believe in God, Kia.
But think about it. That's the fear. If you see niggas jumping off the cliff, you like, oh shit! But you gotta walk to the edge of the cliff to see them with
some water down there.
You want to see some water down there. Like if you see them just jumping, you like, what?
Hey, that's real.
Crazy. You gotta at least go to the edge of the cliff to see. Oh, no, they hang glide. There's some water down there.
Okay. The word say, my people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Right. And knowledge comes from everywhere, man. Knowledge comes from.
We're just having a free conversation. They automatically, they already feeling like
it's because it's so taboo, bro. It is so taboo, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. We're talking about something that dates back to history that kept us in line.
Right.
Like, think about it now. What it was used for, what the purpose of it was. You know what I'm saying? So it kept us in line. So it's taboo, and people probably had parents, like mine. My dad was radical and out the box, but I don't care what you do on Saturday. You be up ready to go to church on Sunday morning. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think. To an extent, that is absolutely great. Like I said, when I got to college, I didn't want to go to church.
Right.
But it was something in me because of what was put in me that made me say, God, something don't feel right. You know what I'm saying, on Sunday mornings without going. So I started going, but then I had to find out, like, am I going because of a routine, or am I going because I have a true desire to go?
Be fed. Yeah.
I want to be fed. Like I want that meat. Like it's pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like that meat. But you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be fed spiritually. And once I understood that that's what the desire came from, like I started waking up and going to service. Then I started driving back to Statesville on Sunday mornings.
That's
because but it was my truth.
That's the truth.
And when I found out that I wanted it for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell people laugh. It's like I didn't get saved till I was 15, and it was like, but your daddy is a pastor.
That don't mean that.
I made the decision to follow Jesus Christ when I was 15. I was saved when I was 3, but who remembers that? That wasn't my decision. Like when I made the decision to do it and I think the church, that's what people have to do. Like make the decision as to why. A lot of people come to church with no expectation, bro.
Right.
They coming out of strict routine.
That's true.
My mama, my granddaddy, my uncles,
bro.
everybody woke up at the same time, ate breakfast at the table, put their suits on, showed up to church, went to church, had praise and worship, listened to the sermon, went and got something to eat afterwards, came back for the 5 o'clock service. Like, it was what everybody did.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying?
What we got?
Here's a hot one.
You're tuned in to Academy. Who am I
My
speaking
joint
with?
about to die too. I'm on 1%.
Hello?
Hey. Who am I speaking with?
1%. I got.
This is Kiara, and I just
So happy because you are doing a great job and continue to do it, especially with making sure your kids have a strong foundation spiritually. I think you are doing phenomenal, and I applaud you.
Right on.
That's facts.
Indeed.
and I think he's like, it's like, you know,
We agree. We agree.
With you. Hey,
You got to plant the seeds. You got to plant the seeds early in the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, I agree. My biggest thing is, I think people condemn people for having questions,
Right.
or asking the. We condemn people for asking the questions that we all have. And my thing is, you should not convict yourself for having questions. One, because you did not ask to have those questions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you realize
Hey,
loopholes.
that's-
You realize, you know what I'm saying, mistruths. Like, you're like, wait a minute.
Hey,
I didn't
that's
ask to challenge
deep.
that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
deep, bro. I didn't ask to have this question.
you ain't asked for that. You know
That's
what I'm saying? Like, you ain't asked
deep.
for that question, so you should really tarry with it.
Yep.
That's the essence of you. That's the God directing your path. He gave you a question that you didn't ask.
Well, that's
That's
like exercise.
Yeah.
It's like God strengthening you, bro.
Yeah.
Like you have to
Indeed, bro.
go through this thing. You have to search.
How you know how strong you are if you don't challenge yourself?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I know who God is to me if I don't go look at other things and question other things?
It's like
and
God
you know what I'm
preparing
saying?
you,
Like,
bro. He
if you don't
prepares
use
you.
it, you will lose it.
Right.
Like, that's the brain and the physical. If
I
you
think
don't-
sometimes he plants some
Absolutely.
seeds in those questions to challenge you to make sure sometimes that it's gonna force you to get in your word.
there you go.
It's gonna force you to do some research.
For real.
So
Once you do something, no doubt.
just in case that the other guy come at you want to question
Absolutely.
your beliefs, you prepare and you're sure you built on a sure foundation because you prepared for this.
Like I've talked to people, you know, when that you know challenge the theory of Jesus, and I understand what, you know, how everybody says and can challenge that, but I tell people, like, the one thing you can't take away is my experience, though,
Right.
and what I've seen.
Right.
Like, I've literally seen the name of Jesus be cried out and a miracle happen.
Right.
I've seen the name of Jesus cry out and people
too.
and demons come out.
The
Like,
enemy
I've
stop.
seen that.
We
You know
seen
what I'm
it
saying?
too,
Now, we
bro.
can argue where he walked the earth,
seen
and
it.
but I know when that name get called out, some stuff happens.
Stuff happens, bro.
You know
no
what I'm
lie.
saying? Like, you can't take that experience
You
away
ain't
from
lying though.
So, but at the same time, with that, my only thing is, like, but why, as Christians, do we have to be so disrespectful to people that don't believe that, bro?
That's my thing, but that's why I say the truth in all religion
Like, you don't.
is
It's
the
not
belief.
necessary,
Because
man.
we see miracles. We see miracles rocked when the name of Jesus is yelled. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We see that in the church. We see people walk. We see the blind see. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But you got other religions who got proof of theirs too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they
Speak
see.
on it.
You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna tell
God
them?
is God.
Right? God is God. The truth in our religion is a belief. You got 50 to 100 people in one building believing the same thing, the essence of us believing the same thing, God will be there. Whatever medium we use is the medium we choose to use. We say in Jesus, but the fact that there are 20 to 50 human beings with the who are the vessels of God saying the same thing, doing something in tandem, doing something synchronized, he's gonna come. Just like when you see the you see the Muslims do the dance, like you can find like the little Facebook post, they'll take like a ritual, ancient ritual from like India, and then like they'll put it to a trap beat or something like that. They be in motion, they be in tandem, they be in union. You know there's a spirit there. You know something is working, something is being worked around there.
Man.
And in that sense, so
I'm telling you, that's why I've gotten so much perspective, you know, from listening to things that what people would call out of the box. And when you really are balanced, like you said, Ted, you know, and when you really understand that, like you said, you can't find like and no one knows the answer. You know what I'm saying? But you can find what resonates with you, and what drives you, and what places passion inside of you, and then have the ability to be so okay with who you are, you can share who you are without being intimidated by people that question it.
That's what liberates. That's what liberates.
That's a totally different thing. Because now when I don't feel like I have to defend what I believe, because I know what I believe, when I don't feel like I have to defend it, now I can have conversations instead of debates.
Because you a true vessel at that
That's
point.
a game changer, bro. It's a complete game. For me, man, as the future pastor of Statesville Covenant Cathedral, bro, like that's the one thing I want people to know. Like, this is a place, this is a safe place. You can share what you believe in this place and not be condemned or not be looked at wrong. Somebody in the church is probably gonna ask you, man, hey, where'd you read that at? I want to read that, man. What'd you think about that? Like, because I believe it's so, church is so much more than religion. Church should be a place where people can free their minds. Church should be a place where people feel safe enough to say, you know what I'm saying, I know I'm not all the way right. How do I get myself together? And somebody can come up to them and be honest about who they were. Like, we hide in the church, we hide behind the church mask so much, bro.
That's true.
That we're missing out on a lot of opportunities to save souls because, you know, you heard me at Get Lit. Like, stop being ashamed of your past. Like, that's your evidence of your change.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? How many souls can you help save if you see people that's dealing with the same struggles you dealt with and you got through it, but because you don't want people in the church to know that you dealt with that, you ain't gonna say nothing?
And YP, I don't want to cut you off, but we got you here.
Yeah, bro, you just said Get Lit. Yo, give us
Get
a
lit. We here to interview you too now. We here to interview you
Hey,
too.
man, listen, I roll with the punches, man.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Let's go ahead and plug that in right
Man,
now.
absolutely. So, man, my man that called likes that just called in, and then a lot of y'all know Chris People, CP the People's Champ.
Shout out CP.
Absolutely, man. We collabed together. It was really a original idea of Carl Likes and his group Holy Nation, and you know, me and my group with YP Motivations, and then Chris with what he does from a DJing standpoint. And a lot of people don't even understand that, like, he's way more than a DJ. He's a mind behind what we're doing too. And
man, great guys in the community.
Yeah, man, we teamed up and we wanted to put together an event that stressed the importance of, like, you know, it doesn't have to be church, but this is a place where you can come and get some spiritual food, you know, because there are some, I mean, it's real. People don't really like going to a church, like literally a church building. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to go to a church building, but we got, you know, the upper room in Statesville where you got the pool tables, you got cars, we got CP playing the music and everybody, and then I'll come do my inspiration and motivation, and Carl comes behind that and does his, you know, the biblical references and the call and responses and what we're doing, and we formatted pretty much a sequence as far as how everything will roll to where we can plug people into these positions. So I can bring in another motivational speaker to do my part. We can call in another person to do the, you know, the biblical call and response part. Because the whole thing is, man, we understand it's not church, but you gonna get some spiritual food out of this time. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come out of there feeling like, dang, okay, You're gonna feel like you just went to church, but it's not church,
Right.
Because everybody don't rock with that.
That's true.
I can give you both though.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I can give you that and get lit, and I can come preach into a Holy Ghost fit on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But I understand everybody doesn't rock with the church atmosphere, man. And our whole thing was get somebody that's close to you but far from God.
Right.
Somebody that has, that's close to you, that's cool with you, but they may not be on the same spiritual kick as you. Like they want to, but they may not know how. Well, cool, bro. I ain't gonna take you to church, but come holler at this Get Lit service.
Right.
And it stands for Get Eternal Truth, Live in Truth.
Gotcha.
We're talking about finding your truth, finding out what you believe, and we're just sharing with you what we believe. And it might impact you. You might not rock with it. And if you don't, it ain't no harm lost.
Right.
But what we felt called to do by what we believe in and what we believe, this is what we're going to give you. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it could be something that empowers you, help you understand who God is in you, help you understand who you are in the eyes of God, and help you understand, the abilities that you have within yourself to do exceedingly and abundantly above all things. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just for God himself, that's for you too.
Man, y'all make sure y'all go support Get Lit.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, but when y'all
we don't have the we just finished one this Thursday, so I'm putting together the next date that'll be for June.
Okay.
But just stay tuned in, locked in to my stuff on if you guys follow me on IG, YP_Thomas. On Facebook is YP Thomas, and the Facebook fan page is YP Motivations, and then you can follow Carl Likes the Second, and you can follow Chris People, CP the People's Champ, because we'll always be posting. And then we have some great people that are teaming up with us. Stephanie Mills works with us. Carl's wife works with us. Mallory, I can't remember her last name, but she's like the human resource department that handles all of the logistical stuff in the background. Then the upper room plays a huge part in this because they're letting us use the facilities, and we got different artists to come through. JP Kill It, Smash the first joint, you was at that one. My man Chosen and his group killed at the last one. So we always have an artist come through, and it's just a laid back, chill environment for people to come get some spiritual food, socialize with people of like minds, you know what I'm saying? Trade information, share truths with each other, and not have to feel like you have to be so uptight or a certain way. Be you. Come be yourself, man. And come share in what church really is, which is a communion with people, which is an opportunity to network and be around people that's dealing with life the way you are, and help encourage and lift that brother up. You know what I mean? And that sister up.
What kind of brother go get them one of them shirts? Though?
Oh man, don't worry, it's coming real soon, man. I just I don't know if y'all saw it on IG, but probably about 3 months ago, I linked up with this company out of Charlotte called BlackHippie.com.
I saw that,
and they wanted me to do a shirt deal with them, man, where they're going to produce a lot of shirts I have, and I'll be able to sell them on my website. So it took a little halt because the guy that owns it, he got busy, I got busy, but we just got back together, and we're gonna have different variations of this shirts. Then I have another shirt that I released couple months ago, but it's a product, it's a YP shirt, but it says the excuses you use today will be the reason you fail tomorrow.
Right on.
So different quotes like that, and you have them in different colors, you know what I'm saying? So those will be on the website soon.
You got your logo on the shirt, but it's a really dope logo. We're gonna post this logo on the page,
appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man, I wore that on the shirt.
Yeah, and it came, man. I'm a Leo. So you know what I'm saying? I love the Lions, and then I always, I love the whole shield look. And shout out to my boy RJ Johnson down in Atlanta. I sent him a prototype. I saw something online. I was like, man, I love this joint, bro. Can you make this like my logo though? Bro, he sent me that jump by. I was like, that's it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
it's gonna be great, baby.
Yeah,
Academy got the shield too, man. We rock with the shield.
Oh, absolutely.
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 Power in the shield.
And I'm telling you, man, I always love when I looked at like Crest, you know what I'm saying? They had the shield with the swords.
Yeah.
So when I saw my logo, like I wanted that.
You know what? Until you said that, I ain't noticed it, but that is.
Yeah, like that's the line.
Oh man.
Sparta. Yeah, I Greece. And the way they would fight and the way they would use their shield for defense and for attacks and create domes. It was crazy how they would use it.
So the shield is powerful. It's a powerful tool, right?
Because man, and it's got a crown on the top of it. You know what I mean? And that symbolizes, you know what I'm saying, understanding the king inside of you and the queen inside of you. Like your power. you know, and that's your armor too,
Right.
You know, with all of the negativity in this world and everything that comes at us on an everyday basis, man.
Right.
You know, it says in the Bible, you got to put on the full armor of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's for, I don't care what you believe, bro.
That's right.
Negativity comes no matter what religion you are.
That's big.
You know,
right.
and you gotta have armor on you to deflect that nonsense and that bull,
Dang
man.
right.
Or that shield that, you know, that shields you from the negative vibes and the people that's trying to, you know, to taint your vision and stuff.
That's
and
true.
the crown to understand, you know, guarding your head and understanding how the purpose of guarding your mind and making
Right.
sure you're balanced in your mind so that people can't play with your beliefs and what
That's
you do
right.
and what you know about yourself and what's your truth.
Right
You
on.
know, so people can't play with that. So, you know, that was the whole premise of the shield and the crown on the top, man. It just symbolized what.
So
my
tell us
company
about
was
the book, man.
Oh man, the book Go Be Great. It's called Go Be Great: 14 Principles to Increase Your Greatness. And you can go get it on Amazon, and you can get it on my website too at www.ypmotivations.com. But it's 14 principles that I used myself to not only change my quality of life, but build the courage to start my own company with YP Motivations. And it actually started off, man, I love telling this story, bro, because it started off as like a journal to myself first.
Right.
And I would go to work every morning and I would type a motivational email and send it to myself.
Okay.
And it was like just, you know, me motivating myself because, you know, I was working, but I didn't feel fulfilled. I felt like I had more to offer in life. I felt like I had more to give. And, so I started writing these motivational emails, and then one morning, you know, it was definitely God, and I heard, you know, send it out to your team. So I sent it to my team of about 9 people, and they loved it, you know, and I did it for like 3 weeks straight, 4 weeks straight, and then 1 week I didn't send it. I used to send it on Wednesdays, and I call it Wednesday, well, you know, Wednesday motivation.
Right.
And I didn't send one, and it was probably about like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We was about to leave, and somebody was like, "Hey, Chris, I ain't getting no email today." And everybody was like, "Yeah, you know what? I didn't get an email." And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't send one out." They was like, "Oh no, you can't do that."
So we
You know,
got to have that.
We hooked now. You got to send
So
that.
we need that motivation.
So it went from going out to like 9 people, and the email list grew to like 160 something people. And it started getting managers and people that were receiving it through the email list were sending it to other managers at like BB&T, Bank of America. So people started like really like rocking with, and that's when I started realizing like, man, I kind of have a voice.
Oh, no
That
doubt.
people really, you know, I have something, you know, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, I have something. So I just kept writing, man, and through those writings, I just built the courage and the motivation to walk off that job, you know, and start my own company and start my
that's
motivational
awesome.
speaking career. And so after I finished or left the company, I said, there's 2 things that I have to get done. I want to write a book, and I want to become a life coach. And I remember talking about it, and my boy Jamil Mooney, we all know Mook. He sent me a book map, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I heard you want to write a book." He was like, "Yeah." He said, "Man, I got a book map. Man, I'll send it to you." And say it's helping me write my book too.
Right.
Cool. So he sent me the book map, and I did the whole thing. And man, I was with my business consultant down in Charlotte, William Featherstone, and then my homeboy Daryl Davenue, and we was in our room because we used to meet on Tuesdays and just like minds, just, you know, bounce ideas off each other. And I told him I was doing a book. We put up the book map and I filled it all in, right? And I sat back and I said, "Oh my God!" I was like, I have all of this already. Like I didn't realize through writing those emails, I was writing my book.
Right.
I had no idea, bro. Because I had did like maybe 52 or like, I think the last time it was like 60 emails that I had compiled. And I took what I wanted in the book, I took the title of the book and then I separated it in chapters as far as what I wanted to talk about. And I had all of that stuff done, man. And I just had to go back, make it make sense, edit it down a little bit, and that's how the book came about, man. I never would have thought, you know, like, man, I can't write no book. You know, y'all been following me on Facebook enough. Y'all know I can't spell. I done read some of my posts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it was really a thing of like getting over and overcoming the obstacles of your mind.
Right.
You know, that thought of what I just said, man, you don't know how to write no book. You
Right.
know, you can't spell. You know what I'm saying? You like,
Right.
that's why you have an editor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That checks the edit of the book. But at the end of the day, it's about like, yes, you can,
Right.
and just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. Like, don't think about the why you can't.
Yeah.
Think about the why you can't.
Exactly.
And just do it. Like, if you had 165, 170 something people waiting for an email for you every day, you don't think you can write a book and empower people?
Exactly.
But
You know what I'm saying?
You can
That's
sell it to 170 people.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If 170 people buy your book at $15 a piece, you gonna be mad about that?
Exactly.
Like,
$1,500.
do it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
I'm sure they're gonna go tell somebody.
Right. And I did it, man. And to date, man, it's one of the proudest things I'm proud of, because that was ground up. You know, that was something I did organically, and you know, that's something God just kind of gave me. And I've been getting great responses, man, and sold over 1,000 copies out the trunk.
Wow. Salute, bro.
You
What's
know,
up, bro?
out the
Yeah.
trunk.
What's up,
You know
man?
what I'm saying? And that's not even including the ones
Great
that may have
things.
been sold over Amazon.
Great
They're still
things.
selling more. You know what I mean?
Great
so
things.
it's been a blessing. I think I wrote the book so it would literally be for anybody.
Right.
I think the average everyday person can read that book and get some great content and
Right.
quality out of it. And I think a CEO of a Fortune 500 company can read that book and get some great content out of it too. And I wanted it, you know, that reason. It's an easy read. I wanted it to be easy. I wanted people to hear my voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want you to hear it and feel like you're talking to some scholar. You're like, nah, that ain't me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I want to feel like we on the stoop or in a podcast booth and we
Right.
just chopping it up. You know, just dropping the nuggets and the jewels that helped me become the individual I am and take off, you know, in chasing my journey and manifesting my dreams and manifesting my goals, and, you know, leaving that comfortable position to get into an uncomfortable position.
Right.
You know, but still growing in that process. And that's what the book is about, man. It's just principles to help you increase your quality of life. I even said in the beginning of the book, like, I don't have the answers. I don't.
Hey.
But what I do have, or what this book will do, is spark the conversation inside of you to make you go find the answers for
Go
yourself.
Right
find
on.
out. That's big fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Say go be great, y'all, man.
Absolutely,
Be great,
man.
Pick that up, man.
We think, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, YP,
Oh,
man.
man. You
It's
know,
a
been
pleasure
on the
to have
show,
you in the
man.
building,
Brother,
bro.
yes,
It's a big
sir.
pleasure to have you in the building, man. Kicking straight
Real, man.
backs, laying down gems, giving
Yes,
us keys,
sir.
man. Use these keys to open up some doors in your mind, folks. For real, fellas. Fellas and ladies, man. He gave
And what's your IG?
Oh yeah,
Facebook?
you can find me on IG at YP_Thomas. You can find me on Facebook at YP Thomas, and then you can follow the fan page on Facebook, which is YP Motivations, and then the website is YPMotivations.com. And you know, email me at IamYPThomas@gmail.com for booking information. Youth conferences, speaking engagements, you know, nonprofit organizations, companies, anything. And I specialize in, with my company, I specialize in mediation, conflict resolution, anger management, and
Okay.
leadership training.
Okay.
And then I just became, just recently in the last 2 months, 2 or 3 months, I became life coach certified.
Okay.
So I'm
Man,
empowerment
right
coach
on.
certified. So people, you know, looking for their purpose, trying to find their purpose, trying to find motivation to strive after goals. I work with people one-on-one,
Okay.
and one-on-one life coaching doing that.
I'm going to do that this summer, bro. I'm starting my life coaching.
Hey man, it's a beautiful thing,
Bro, I'm
It's a
starting mine because I was
beautiful thing.
like, a lot of people be hitting me up, and I be texting folks. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So I'm
let me
like,
tell you what's
I'm about
gonna
to
be.
go ahead and get certified.
Let me tell you what's
for
gonna be
this.
funny to you though. When you do that joint and they like showing you the techniques of it,
Right.
you're gonna be like, "Dang, I was doing this
already-
already."
Yeah,
It's crazy, bro.
That's
I'm
fact.
telling you. And I'm gonna give you a nugget too, bro. Like, before you pay for something, in the one that I did, in the writing, my dude, like it said, there is no certification needed to be a life coach.
Big
Seriously,
fact.
there was like
Just
the only
credibility.
that's it.
Yeah.
There was like the reason you want it is because if people want to see your credentials for it, then they can. But it's like, bro, it ain't no like law that you have to be certified as a life coach. But I did want to be able to show people, hey, I've gone through the courses, I've gone through the classes.
Right.
Like, this is what I've been able to do.
Right.
And you know, I fit it to the individual. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different.
Right.
But all I'm doing is helping you navigate through your thoughts to
Right.
find your own answers.
it.
That's all life coaching is, bro. You know
right.
what I'm saying? All it is just helping people, man.
Awesome, man.
Great show today,
Great
fellas.
show, y'all.
Absolutely,
Man.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep getting better and better, man. This is Academy on Air. You can find Academy on Air by searching Academy on Air, all streaming platforms, and it is the Academy Music Group on Facebook, and it's the Academy _music_ group on Instagram. You know, this is Academy on Air. We just here to inspire, motivate, and most importantly,
Show love. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Tune in next week. Got Trey Caldwell.
Trey Caldwell.
Trey Caldwell next week.
I saw him at the grocery store.